Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. I'm here for my weekly cross stitch update. I think it might be 7 days since I posted, but probably I'm 2 days over my stitching for the week. It's been a busy week for me. I've worked every day apart from Monday. So when I did a video last time, I then worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had Monday off. And now I've worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm working tomorrow, earlies this week. So I'm a bit tired. I'm also a bit sick. You can probably hear my voice is not brilliant. I've got a cold in April, which is rubbish. I'm very bunged up and my voice is a bit rubbish and I've got a bit of a thick head going on. So yeah, hey ho, it is what it is. We carry on. It's beautiful sunshine here, as you can see. I've pulled the blinds down, but there's the chink. There's the chink between the two conservatory blinds there. So I'm going to try and keep my head out of that so that you don't catch. The sun's just moving itself round at the moment before it goes away for the evening. So it is nearly 6 o'clock in the evening, and yeah, had an okay week. We've had an okay week. Oh, sorry, that's Maddie just home. I'll just put you on pause for a sec. Right, sorry, I know I'm going to be in that bit of sunshine. That is so annoying. Right, all sorted. I just had to have a quick chat with Maddie there. Can I move around a little bit this way? Oh, I'm still in it. No, wherever I sit, I'm going to be in it. Right, I'm going to move this way instead. Oh, long and the short of it is I've done loads of stitching. I always do. Loads. Turns out, yeah. I did not want to drop that. That was my gubbins box full of all my loose DMCs and everything. I will pick that up later. I have got some I bought myself these today. These are in our special buys at the minute. Little tubs. These to go by my sewing machine. The only thing that's in it is my Corbond pen. One of my 3 now Corbond pens that I use to mark. That's the erasable pen that I use to mark my fabric with. By the by, that's the only thing I've put in my new tubs. They're going to go by the sewing machine, which I have now cleared the table enough to bring them through. Still not done any machining. Don't know whether it's worth now making my bags with my Easter fabrics for this year because it's almost Easter. My needle minder of the months, which I had nearly finished last week, are exactly where I left them because I've had a busy week of work. And on Monday when I was off, we went to Sunderland for the post-op appointment. Long and the short of it is his eyes have healed nicely. His retinas are still in place. Mechanically, his eyeballs are eyeballs. Functionally, they're rubbish. They're rubbish. And I think mostly that's because of his optic nerves, which, as we all know, are unrepairable. So we're in a process of grieving and acceptance and all of that stuff, which is a long road and is going to be hard. Occupational therapy have stepped back in to try and get him up and moving a little bit and give him some basic exercises to do. Other than that, we are trucking along. We're just trucking along and we've got to adjust to what we've got now. The light he could see before is diminishing. So, you know, we used to go out and look at car lights and that was fun, and he could see street lights and sometimes he could see traffic lights. Yeah, that's waning now. So we're going to go for driving the car tonight. His right eye, since it got his retina was, the surgeon picked the pieces of the retina that were broken off out, basically. We kept that eye dilated to keep it completely relaxed. So when we went back on Monday, he said you can stop those, wean him off the steroid drops, which were on 4 times a day. We're on 3 times a day now. We'll go to 2 times a day over the weekend, and then towards the back end of next week we'll go to once a day, and then just basically wean his eyes off them, and then what we've got left is what we've got left. So anyway, his right eye had been kept completely dilated, so huge pupil. It's coming down now very gradually, so I'm hoping that as it returns to a normal, and if you've been to the optometrist and had the dilating drops in, you know your eyeball is like blurry and hopeless for hours. It's been like that for weeks. So it's basically been paralysed open for weeks just to keep it open and relaxed. So as that comes back, hopefully, I'm hoping that what the lights he could see will now not just be like an odd blur, will actually be like a light. But we are talking a flash of light for vision, which we all know is not vision. Anyway, we're gonna just keep trucking. So stitching wise, I had quite a low stitch week for me, 5,312 stitches, basically just because I'm jiggered from doing earlies this week. And my day off, I drove to Sunderland and back, which took nearly 4 hours of my day, and then we were in the hospital just over, well, about an hour and a half we were in the hospital. So all in all, didn't get a lot done that day. So have some things to show you anyway. First thing is I have completed a Whip Go goal. I haven't got my cash on me, so I'm gonna owe myself. I meant to go and get my purse in. My purse is through there. I owe myself for the Shores of Hawkrun Hollow. Last time I posted it, it looked like this. Today, just finished now, today, it looks like this. So, it's done. This year's block is done. So 2025 block was the front half of this boat and the front half of the sails, and I made the flags, the 3 DMC variations that I used in year before last block in this. So the star here, the red and the pansy purple. They're the colours I've used in there. I changed the words. It read, "I will wait for thee," and I've changed, "It will wait for me," because that means more to me, just how I've done it. So it's, "My love the sea will wait for me." I was in the Merchant Navy, for anyone who doesn't know me and hasn't been with me a long time. I worked for Shell for 9-10 years, trained up as a deck officer, so I was a navigator, and yeah, loved the sea. So I just kind of made the words fit me a bit better. Sorry, I'm so thirsty at the minute. Right, okay, so all in all, the whole piece looks like this now. So for the last 4 years, I've done a block a year. It took me 3 years to do the first 2 blocks. This is my oldest whip. It stems from 2018, and we are halfway done. We are at 50%, 6 blocks of 12 complete. So 2026's block is the other half of that. I've done very little of it. I've just done a few stitches into the boat there and a little bit of that. And that's it. That's the only bits I've gone over. Anyway, I've left, didn't seem any point finishing off the threads. I've just left lovely long new threads ready to pick up for next year. So Shores of Hawkrun Hollow is done. I owe myself £6 in my box. We'll put that in next week. And that's lovely. Very happy to have one of my Whip Go goals for the month met. So I also picked up meditation this week. When I picked it up, it looked like this. I finished off the 310 stitches, which were not finished here in this bit. Here's where it is now, instantly. And so you can see what I've done. I finished off the 310, which I was still missing, like one of these little groups of 310 here. And now I'm doing 3371. So I've done this one, and I'm on to this one here. I'm still going to keep doing this extreme cross country within its bounds. If it gets out of control and it gets too big to go right the way round, like a colour right round here, I might well just concentrate and like do a piece if I get bored of doing it like this. But doing just these few thousand stitches a year into it, I'll probably be fine just keeping on going. So I put in 1,016 stitches into this. My goal is 3,500. So I'm just going to keep putting in a couple of strands into this, working on the 3371 around here, and then I'm going to pick up this colour. I found a little spot there, and it's actually the next colour that meets up with this red here. So that little spot will meet up with that bit there. It's the same colour, but I think there's two. I think there's that one there, and I think these ones here, and I think one of these over here is that colour in that area, and then they pick up round here. So I don't know if I'm going to get to that colour this go or whether it'll be next go, because this is in my whip go twice. So Meditation, it's Elizabeth Welker, obviously it's a Handmade. It looks like this when it's done. It's adhesive, it will fill this fabric square. So yeah, it's a biggie, but well worth doing, and the colour work in it is beautiful. For those of you who panic about stains on the fabric, unidentified mark, yeah, never mind. Onwards. Okay, so that's that one. So that's a whip go goal, and I've done just under a third of my whip go goal there. I'm confident I'll get that done this month. Also quite confident that I'll get City of Love sorted out. I only put in 391 stitches in the last week, but I worked on it yesterday, so it looks a bit more, but that'll be counted into next week's stitches. So it looked like this when I filmed last time. This might need something behind it. That will do. It now looks like this. So I've gone up, this is the top corner, and it looks funky because that is a pure checkerboard. The whole top is two different colours. It's this pink, which is 761, and it's 819, which is the very, very, very pale baby pink, which is already in here, down here. It's this building's colour. So that's all the sky is a checkerboard of this pink and this very pale pink. So that's where I am with that. I've put in a little bit of this blue as well, I think, since last week, and there is some mauvey colour in as well here, some mauve in amongst this too. So put some stitches in there, and I'm quite confident that I will get my stitches done into City of Love. I think, hang on, I can get my book. I am filling in my book every day. My stitching certainly. So City of Love as of yesterday, so into the next week, I'm at 1700, so I'm a little under, I'm not quite halfway on my stitching, but I'm confident I'll do that this month. How many more to show you? Two? Just two more to show you. Okay, so, oh no, I did some Tiny Modernist, a little bit. Did a little bit of Tiny Modernist, just a tiddly tiny bit. This last week I put in all of, let me find my page, Tiny Modernist, 241. Looked like this the last time I filmed, and I think it was all 907 and a little bit of the other green. It now looks like this. It was, I think, this leaf here and the rest of this the rest of the 907 in this cactus. So not very much. I'm going to pick this back up in the next few days and put a chunk into this. I'd really like to get this second part done and boxed and out the way. I think the fourth part will be coming out quite soon. Third part, which is the top, this top piece here, is already nearly there. So there we go. Getting on with him, but only a little bit. And then I put some stitches into Fish and Ships. Nothing very exciting. In one stitching time, 468 stitches, and it looked like this the last time I filmed, and it's changed just a tiny bit here because I did fill in the back end of this whale, but not quite filled in his tail. What I've done is I've done some of the border, and I've found the bottom. It's quite tiddly. This is on 18 count, so if you stitched it on something smaller, like 20 count or 40 count, it would be really quite neat and tidy. These are little long dogs, little long dogs, really cute. I did this deliberate purpose. So what I did, it's a 2-stitch border all the way round, and I decided this was going to be the stitched border. It's then got a dot all the way round inside this stitched border, and I'm going to do that in beads. I'm going to decide as I work which bits I'm going to bead and which bits I'm going to stitch. So these are stitched bits. And what I've done is I found the border and counted, and I stitched 10 top 10 bottom, 10 top, 10 bottom, so that I knew I was getting my stitch count right as I was marking it up on Pattern Keeper. Incidentally, these two, being much newer long dogs, have gone into Pattern Keeper correct. There's no disjoint over the page markings like there is in Pandemic and New Normal and all of those. It's got issues with its page breaks. That's obviously being resolved. I haven't had a new one for a while, a new long dog for a while, so I'm really pleased that's all resolved. So here we go. So I found my borders, and this is, yes, somebody did ask me, I did over dye it with the green. That's all the spots because I didn't wait for the dye to properly dissolve. So I think you can see I've got like the yellowy spots and the blue spots, which is obviously the yellow and blue of the green dye, and then it over dyed green to match the thread, and I think I did a not bad job matching up that thread. It's really cool. I haven't worked on the other one at all. I just concentrated on getting this border in to get the size. And what I did, once I had the size, I ordered two 14-inch, because that's going to fit that perfectly. I normally stitch, everything is in an 11 by 11 with me. 11 by 11 Q-snap, 11 by 11 R&R frames. Your Q-snap clamps are that profile. Your R&R frames, which I think are English, they are that profile. I love these. You used to be able to buy these in Hobbycraft. That's where I bought my first one. I absolutely love them. The frames, I just find them just perfect. Do love a Q-snap, same. But I've ordered two 14-inch R&Rs, and you see I'm not fussy. This is an R&R frame. You can tell because it's got the normal pipe corners, which you can buy in B&Q, like Home Depot, I suppose. I've got a Q-snap clamp there, and I've got an R&R frame clamp there. They're interchangeable. You can buy the poly pipe and you can buy the corners in B&Q, make your own, and buy spare clamps. I've done that a few times, but because a 14-inch frame fitted, it means I can fit the entire piece into the 14-inch frame, and I can bead as I go because the whole piece is going to be in the frame, you know, in the middle, so I can bead as I go. While I was making thread drops, I did make another batch of the June Needle Minder of the Months. These are super cute. It's all resin. These are all inlaid. The beads and sequins are all set into the resin. So you can see my 2-thread thread drop. I've got the navy blue on one side and the other on the other, because I'm going to stitch them at the same time together. I've ordered 2 frames. They will be permanently installed, this and the other one. I used this one, I kept this one for me because I don't know if you can see there's a little bleb in the resin. There's a little knobble in the resin, and yes, I could file that down and put another layer of resin over it and you'd never know. But you know what, once in a while I keep something for me. So I kept this one for me. There you can just see it's got a funny little bleb right in the middle between the 2 holes of the thread drop. So I kept it for me. Anyway, that's if you're wondering what my magnetic thread drops are, that's what they do. It means you can have it as a needle minder on your work, and it works as a needle minder, and you can hang your pre-cut lengths of thread off it, and then it just sits there, and then all you need to do is just get your needle and pull a strand out as you need them, and they're there and they're ready and you're preloaded. You don't have to fuss around looking for your spool of Aurifil or your sulky or your skein of DMC. It's all preloaded, so it's lovely and it's there. You won't lose it because it's magnetically attached to your work. Little plug for myself there. I'm sure they existed before I made them, but I just was like so fussing about with trying to find lengths of floss and stuff, and in the end I just went, I'm literally going to stick a magnet on a thread, I just made myself a thread drop, and it was like, oh, this is amazing. And the shape, I had the oval cutter, the teardrop shape, I literally had a round cutter that I bent, so they all get cut with a cutter, so they're all identical shapes, but I bent that. I bent a round cut of that shape. I didn't find a teardrop egg shape. I just did it. Anyway, so that's fish and chips. Got 468, but I was working on the border. When my Q-snaps turn up, I will get on with those in earnest, because they're going to be living in their frames forever until I finish them. But the whole thing will fit in the frame, which is really cool. Also frees up a Q-snap for something else, which, you know, well, I suppose I'll find something to do with it. Right, the only other thing I've stitched on consistently is my treasure hunt bookshelf, which last time I filmed looked like this. I still have not moved the Q-snap, I don't think. Now it looks like this. So I put in some more pinks in here, and I put in some, this lovely, I think it's 917, this lovely magenta colour. And now I'm working on like colours down here, because this pinky book, I thought, yeah, I'm going to fill in that pinky book. Yeah, brilliant. Easily 4 or 5 of the colours I picked I did not have in my DMC stash. How? I have a full set, except I obviously don't have a full set. And I checked in, I've got like 4 places I keep DMC. I checked all 4 places, didn't have these colours, and I thought, right, I've had enough. So when I ordered my 14-inch R&Rs, I went through the 210, I think, colours in my Super Size Max colour, and if it wasn't in my master set, I ordered one. So when my order arrived from Lakeside Needlecraft, I ordered it from Kate, sent her a little email, and said, oh, I've made quite a big order for me. Can you help me out a little bit? I'll tell you about that in a sec. But I've ordered one of every DMC that was not already in my master set box. So I will have duplicates, because obviously I've got them tucked somewhere else, but they weren't right there. And I was like, I'm sick of not having these pinky reddish colours. They're 3/3s, 3/3/6s mostly, some of them, and I just didn't have them there, and I was like, why haven't I got these colours? So I've ordered one of each colour, and I know I can get them a little bit cheaper from Threads For You and things like that. But I was doing my Lakeside order. I had the 2 14-inch R&Rs in my shopping basket, so I thought, right, just do it. So I think I've got about 12 or 14 DMCs coming, which is always fun. I now need to find one of the 2 enormous packets of plastic bobbins that I already own, that I've got in this room somewhere, just can't put my finger on right now. Over there, I think, possibly somewhere over there. Anyway, I'll hunt about for them. And then I did make quite a large order from Lakeside, and I ordered quite a few biggish pieces of fabric. I've ordered even weave in 25, 28, 32 count, and there might be some 40 count. I don't know if I've got 40 count or not. And then I've got Ada coming in 16, 18, 20, I think, coming. They're almost all I got. I think there's 2 fabric flares, because they were big pieces, and just plain white Ada. And I'm going to try dyeing. I'm going to try and do some dyeing. I mean, I can dye. I've dyed fabric all the time. I've got literally 2 pieces of my hand dyed fabric here. So you know my colour palette. But I'm going to dye the fabric, and I'm going to put it in my Ko-fi shop. So we'll see how it comes out, and I'll keep you updated on how it's going to go, because I've got lots of dyes and I really love doing it, and I love getting, I'm a high colour mottled kind of person. So if you like something bright and colourful and mottled up, that's the sort of thing I'm going to do. And they're going to be probably one-off pieces. They're going to be this piece, and what I do, because they do not photograph, you can't photograph hand dyed fabrics. I don't know how people do. What I will do is I will hunt and find the nearest DMC to the mainish colour, and I will say it's this colour, so you can pull out your DMC and go, is that the colour I like? It looks different on the screen, but I know it matches this DMC, because that's the only consistent thing we all have, is our standard DMC colours. So it's getting warm in here. It is 33 degrees in here. I shut the door because it was getting a bit blowy, but now I'm cooking in here, which is better than freezing. You know, in the summer, in the winter, I was doing my videos going, it's 12 degrees in here, I'm going to die. and now it's 33 degrees in here and I'm going to die. But you know, I'm just getting a bit rosy. Anyway, possibly why I'm thirsty, do we think? Anyway, okay, so next week I'm assuming my fabric will come, and then I can play about with that. I will cut it, I will overlock it into pieces that I think are a good size. Quite a few of them are sort of that sort of size and then the full length of the fabric, so I'll maybe cut them into 3. I bought her off-size bits, but I sent her an email and I said, can you just put, because I've ordered the off-size fabrics before and they just get put in a bag. I just asked her if she'd just put a little note on them to let me know which ones they were. I mean, I can count them up and sort it out myself, but just to get that little bit of reassurance that I know what size I've got there. That's all. I just sent her a little message. Anyway, which she immediately replied and said, yeah, there's no problem, I'll do that, which is great. So I'm going to do that. My needle minder of the months will get finished because they are super cute and too nice not to finish. So I'll get them finished. I've just had a bit of a long week this week, working. Yeah, quite a few days, but I've got an early tomorrow, finish at 2 o'clock tomorrow, go and get my boy, and then off Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So I'm off Saturday, Easter Sunday and Easter Monday, so that's great. And tomorrow, of course, is Good Friday, so I get time and a half tomorrow, so I don't mind what I do being paid time and a half. That's fine. That's one of those shifts I don't mind working. Next week, I am going to get on with Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And this is my block this year, this one. It's the pumpkin patch guy. It's going to be the one that goes in here. So there's very little of it started. I've just got the key for the corners so that I know where my block is. But that is going into my Q-snap frame right now because it's its turn. It has reached its turn. And so I did write it down. I wrote down how many stitches altogether in that block of Hawk Run Hollow and of the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, which as you can see was one of the less full coverage blocks. And it was, where's my book? It was 4,134 stitches I put into that, which is quite substantial, but isn't a full coverage block there. I didn't so much pick an easy one, that was next in line. This one I've picked what I think might be an easy block. Bear in mind that last year's block was the easiest block left, that was the least full coverage block left. This year's block's going to be more full coverage. It's the pumpkin patch. I put it into Pattern Keeper, same as I did before, uploading the photograph and doing the manual de-skew where you make it fit and then Pattern Keeper goes, I'll make that square for you. Much better quality photograph because the pattern is much newer. Maybe it was less of a blurry picture. My actual Halloween at Hawk Run, my actual Shores of Hawk Run Hollow pattern is quite blurry on inspection. I think it's because it's quite an old one. It's 2008. I don't even know if it isn't photocopied, if you see what I mean, rather than printed. My Halloween is definitely printed. So it was a much better quality. It went in very much easier. I still had to do quite a lot of manual de-skew, which is quite fun actually. It takes a while, but it's quite fun. But now I'm quite confident that I can put in patterns that are paper patterns and just work off the block. It just gives me a stitch count really easily. So there we go. This is going to be my block here, this one here, and it's going to be the pumpkin patch with the scarecrow. So it's this block here. So what I'm going to do is use all the pumpkin colours that I used in this big block down here. So is pumpkins either end. I'm going to use those colours just to make it consistent. And I'm just going to use colours that I've already got in here. There's lots of colours in there for the scarecrow. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get on with that. This is in my wonderful pumpkin cat bag. I'm going to get on with that next week. And when my order comes and my frames arrive, I will put my pieces into that and get on with those. My fish and chips and fishy goings on, I'll get on with those. I think that's me good. I think that's everything I've got to show you. Just a little note, thank you very much. I've had a few more Ko-fi orders. I have a Ko-fi page, so if you want to support me or go and buy something from my little Ko-fi shop, please visit my Ko-fi. The link, it's a clicky link in my description box there, or just simply, the link is literally Crafty Emily. Just go to Ko-fi and search Crafty Emily with the IE Crafty, and that takes you to me. And the little emblem, the little symbol on it is a dragon eye needle minder, just so you know it's me. But there we go. So yeah, if you want to pop along there, and either you can donate or you can just follow me if you like. I'm going to start putting progress pictures up. There's a thing in there where you can write little blogs and things, so I'm quite interested in actually exploring it, because it seems to be a nice little platform and it seems to work, which is nice. I've got a few open orders at the moment. I will get those into the post just as soon as probably Tuesday after Easter. When I'm off work, I'll get those sorted out and ready to go. So if anyone orders anything between now and Easter Monday, they'll all get off on the post in that Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be posting needle minders of the month then as well, because I'll have finished the bloody things. They're so cute though. I just need to finish just a couple more and then get them in the oven, and then I can do the finishing touches, as it were. They're literally no change from last week. They're just sitting over there on a sheet of glass. My little Fimo things, my little Fimo creations. Yeah, and just to know, I'm going to put into the Ko-fi shop tonight or tomorrow some of the stamp needle minders. So it'll be the Lord of the Rings stamps, it'll be the Beatrix Potter stamps, and some other really lovely ones that I've dredged out. They're going to get put on the Ko-fi shop as well. Obviously I have got one each of those, so if you want them you'll have to jump on it and have a little look quite soon, because I only have one of each of those, because they're individual postage stamps that I turn into needle minders. I'm starting to squint into the sun, it's time to go. The last thing to do is pull for this. I've already done it. I did it just before I filmed so that I wouldn't have to start the film. This was the giveaway for one of my boxes that I finished after the new normals finish. So again, if I hear from you before Easter Monday, this will go out in the post. The other two that are outstanding will be posted Tuesday after Easter, so they'll be on their way. I've got the love one, which I still haven't posted, which I will, and this one going to Angel, that'll be on the way to you, Angel, very shortly on Tuesday. So this here, I will put up the little screen record here of me pulling out the thingy and doing the search. The sun's actually hitting the conservatory door, which is why it's making me squint. I didn't realise it was going to do that. It's coming in from behind me and hitting the conservatory door. It's very warm in here. So there we go. And as you can see, the winners come out as Nicola Morris, who simply just put Swirl Needleminder. Well, Swirl Needleminder it is, Nicola, this is yours. Just email me at the email address below, drop me a line on Instagram, or go to my Ko-fi page and send me a message on Ko-fi, because that's, again, something we can message each other and converse on. So there's another little route there. So you can just go into my description box and click the link and then just go to message. And you can drop me a message and I just need your postage address, that's all. There you go, this is yours. And if I hear from you before Tuesday, it will be in the post, Monday, it'll be in the post Tuesday, because I'm absolutely determined to get my posting off. I got new posting envelopes, I'd run out of posting envelopes. Small glitch. Some of you who did order from me will notice you've got strange square ones, because I had some of those left over. I much prefer posting in the cardboard. I posted some things out in little post bags, and I'm not 100% sure about them. I would much rather use the little cardboard envelopes that are these little cardboard envelopes. I'm much happier posting things in these, but I needed a new box of them. So my Amazon order came and I was like, oh, what did I order? Oh, it's post things. Oh, I needed them. And then I have another Amazon order here, which is just full of magnets. Oh, whole box, 2, 4, 5, 6 boxes of magnets in there, which again, I was needing. So, jolly good, and on we go. So, hop along to my Ko-fi if you want to just say hello. Have a browse through my little Ko-fi shop there. Again, I've fixed it. The UK postage has gone up. I had no idea. It's gone. It's jumped so much. I'm so sorry. It's gone from £2.60 to £3.10. That is unbelievably bad, but I don't want to post second class. I want to post first class. So I will work through my listings and up the postage I've got to. I'm sorry. But that is literally what it costs me. That's not accounting for packaging and all the other little bits and bobs. I literally charge postage. So international postage is not. That's just seems madness that I can post to New Zealand for £1.40. So we're talking like $1 more than posting. If I sent something to next door here, I could post to the other side of the world for £1.40 more. That's nothing. I can't buy anything with £1. What can you buy with £1.40? A loaf of bread. You know, it's 4 pints of milk. It's nothing. So yeah, that's just how it is now. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to change all that around, which is gonna take forever, but I'll get through that. And until then, the postage will be a bit low. So if you want something, go and do it before I have to up the postage, because I haven't done it yet and all the listings are live. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off now because I'm cooking, and it's time I'm physically cooking, and I need to go and make some food for me, Maddie, and Richard, who is having a nap in the living room. He came in here, we went to the doctors and had his bloods done, spoke to the GP, and he came in here and he went, no, too hot. So he went into the living room where it's gloomy and cool. So, yeah, anyway, I will see you next week. It might not be a whole week because, as I say, I'm a bit late posting this, but early shifts make me tired, make me really tired, and I'm a bit sick. Doesn't stop me talking though, does it? Right, I'll see you next week. Nicola, get in touch with me and I'll get that off to you. And yeah, I think that's done. Needle Minder of the Month people, look out for your invoices. They should be out in 2 days time maybe. All my good intentions, this year's just exploded. January was okay, wasn't it? February went wrong and I'm still playing catch up. I will catch up. Right guys, I will see you next week, hopefully with lots of lovely stitching to show you. And yeah, see you then. Bye bye.